So it's really good for mental acuity, it's good for remembering. So in that, I would say, remember your divinity. Remember your divinity. It's time to remember your divinity. Remember your divinity. Remember your divinity. Remember your divinity. Remember your divinity.
Oh, okay.
Remember your divinity. Matilda, she already knows her divinity. Remember your divinity. Remember your divinity. Remember your divinity.
Not sure.
Yes. So some of the quotes that she has given is that kind of associate with the first mystery school teachings, divine timing. She says, "There's a time you will come to me because we need an anointed one to help us to shapeshift from our human mind and our human experiences to our divine mind." She says, "There's a time you will come to me and you will remember that you and I are one. This is called divine timing, and you will surrender your will to the light and love that is inside of you. Do not fret, you will remember, for I am you and you are me, we are one." So, she's just really saying that there's no, in the oneness, there's no separation. We're all totally one. Another thing that I really love that she said, there is that divine moment, and we are waiting for your awakening with open arms. So nothing is lost. Everything is in this moment. There is no time and space. And in the second teaching, forgiveness, she says that we must invoke the word must become flesh. We must become the living word. We must become these teachings. And that if we work the system and when we become these living teachings, we are actualizing peace on earth. My peace I give you, my peace I leave with you. There's this actualization of, we become that living word. We become the embodiment of divine love, divine trust, knowing that everything is in divine right order, and that we are always in grace. And and she'll say, "I'll teach you forgiveness, divine forgiveness," because the human mind does not know how to forgive, but the divine mind does. When Jesus was on the cross, he said, "Father, forgive them, they know not what they do." And it's basically what she says, what Mary Magdalene says, that Father, forgive them, they know not what they do, really is in actuality is they have forgotten who they are, so they need forgiveness. We forget our divinity, and that we have to remember our divinity. And one of the things I do love that she does say is that we must find our vocation within our vocation. And I think that's really true, is that we each have a vocation, but we have to find it within that. We have to find our own little truth within what we have come to do. And then that's our uniqueness. That's what we offer. That's the passion that we give to the world. For me, Mary Magdalene is not only a guide, but it's like she's not separate. It's like she's not separate from us. She is that divine feminine. She is that energy field, if you want to call it that, of the divine feminine that's in us, that knows who we are, that knows why we're here, that knows who we belong to and how we have come to serve. And that when we really embody these teachings, and the fragrances are just touchstones, to help us when we kind of fall from grace, are here just to help us remember that we created this planet, and that we created the plants in the universe to help us to invoke that divinity, because they're there, they have energy, they have power, they can move. We wash ourselves with these plants, and they take off the strain of the day. They anoint people when they're sick, and it raises the light in them. So we created the plants to help us remember, and it's a very sacred way of bringing what we created into our remembering of our own divinity. So That's who Mary Magdalene is to me. She is the divine moment where she comes and she says, surrender. Surrender to the higher as well. And she says, I'm the lady in red. I will teach you what divine forgiveness is. I am the maiden of light, and have compassion first for yourself, and then compassion through divine compassion, not human compassion. And then she says, I am the temple priestess. I am alchemy. I know how to move from the surrender and allowing all the elements of the universe to come together to create form, which is the miracle. And then she says, I am the rose of moonting. I am divine love. In the beginning there was love, in the end there will only be love. And then she says, I am the mystic muse. Come to me, and I will show you your vocation within your vocation. I will show you how to live your bliss every day. And then she's the ascension star, and she says, it's all one. It's all one. It all boils down to one. And that's what is the teaching in the consciousness of one and the Goddess Mystery School teachings for me. So, there you go. Any questions? Wow.
Can you repeat what you were saying about what I liked, the Christ saying of Father, forgive them, they know not what they do.
Yes.
And therefore you were saying that's why our job is to remember.
Yeah.
Can you repeat that? Explain that.
Father, forgive them, they know not what they do, is that Mary Magdalene said that at that time that prayer was, Father, forgive them, they have forgotten who they are. And in forgetting who we are, we do acts of crime against each other. And so when we don't remember who we are, we will act out in anger. We will act out in vengeance. We will gossip. We will do whatever it is, and that takes us from our own sanctity. And when we are from our own sanctity, what happens is that, you may call it the devil, the shadow side. We're filled with negativity, is what I would call it. And that negativity kind of brings maybe envy or jealousy or, and then what we do is we abandon, we hurt, we betray. And so in that, Jesus, God, forgive them, for they've forgotten who they are. And their acts of crime against me is only because they have forgotten who they are, they've forgotten their divinity. And so I think the path of, love's consciousness is what Yeshua and Mary Magdalene came to awaken, not to teach, to awaken, is, I think that's what we're all trying to remember right now. And that we're all, and if every day we can look at each other and say, oh, that's the Christ. You and I are the same. And that's when, yesterday, there's an anointing that when we get together, because I have a mystery school teaching in Kansas, and when I travel and I teach, but we have a way we greet each other, and we know when we do this what that means, but what that means is, blessed are you among men, and blessed are you among women. And blessed is the truth that's alive within your soul, and truth is truth, but not all truth is your truth. Find your truth, and then you are accountable for it. And then she says, I honor your path. I'm not going to judge you because I don't know who you are. I don't know your soul contract, but I'm going to honor your path, and I'm going to see who you are. I'm going to look past, as Christ had to, is look past your human personality, which is not in alignment at some points with your divinity. I'm going to look past that, so I'm going to see who you are, because I know we are one in the heart, and I know that you are the light in the world, and the love in the world. So when we do this, we honor that. We don't have to say it anymore because it's in our heart. I'm going to honor you. I'm going to see who you are, because I know we're one in the heart, and I know you would come to be the light in the world.